Hello everybody, this is Gabriel. This is an update on the Bitcoin price chart. So we're looking here at the daily chart, and during the last 6 months, so as of April, Bitcoin has really developed nicely. So here the black line is a big number. It's a $10,000 mark for Bitcoin. So this big number acted as a magnet. So price was actually pulled towards this number and then pushed through. We can see this nicely here, how we have got an exhaustion, an exhaustion move. So this was basically the end of this move, and the consolidation started. So whenever there's a strong trend, and the trend shall continue for much longer than just a one leg move, well, you need a pause or a refresher, and that's what we see here. Like a price consolidated, went basically sideways. So the 10,000 number resistance became support. Price is bouncing off the 10,000 number and is forming a base. So the base is slightly lower. You can see some wick touches, some bar touches. So the base is basically the main price support for this price activity bouncing off. Um, but most important for the future system, for the gecko pattern, is not it's not the consolidation. Actually, you can have a gecko pattern without any consolidation. That's why it's called a base, basically. But what is much more important is the test bar, and the test bar is this big red bar. It's an excitable price action event, and it actually shows that the emotional battle is going on. So for all this time here, we see a decrease in volatility. So bars get smaller and smaller, the bounces get smaller and smaller, and suddenly this is a sign of war. So the bears are starting to attack, right? The bears want to push prices lower and much lower. We found support here at the 200 moving average, and actually it looked very bearish here during this after this consolidation and price moved lower. I was very astonished that we saw this huge up move. That's a 42% up move. And I was very astonished. Well, that's bull strength coming in, and I've mentioned that in my last Bitcoin video update. That after this fall down, we actually need a bull strength coming in for this to be a great trade. And that's actually what happened. We see a lot of bull strength coming in. That's the third biggest move since inception of Bitcoin in 2009, and this move broke major resistance. So the resistance is the base and the big number 10,000. You can see the big wick, it went above this level, and this is the rebreak of the base, and this actually triggered the entry into Bitcoin long with a stop at the failed test bar swing low. The stop is very well protected, so price tries to go lower. It was in a very strong bearish position, and right here it's turned around. So that's a very pronounced low, and putting a stop here is actually a very good position. In addition to that, it's protected, like the stop is protected by the 200 moving average. That has become support here too. So we clearly see the emotional war. Like this started the war, the red bar, and actually continued. There was another attack of the bears here with this red bar, which has a decent size. And then the bulls came in, and they have pushed price much higher. But the bulls were not as strong as to break the next resistance level, which is this level here at that level. Let's just try it. The bulls have not been able to break that stop run level, so we get a rejection, and there are some more stop run levels higher. So this is another one, this is another one, this and this. So we've got a series of consecutive stop run levels, which is great for getting the uptrend fueled higher and higher. So actually, what we can expect once this week high gets broken, so once we cross the 10,000 level again, what we can expect is a strong momentum move, taking out those stop run levels and making a new high above the 14,000 US dollar level. So with the entry level up here, current price is well below, right? It's about 25%, 30% below the entry level. So that basically means that if you enter here, you get a discount on the regular entry price. I still see that prices are like after this big surge in price. I still see that price is overextended. So we might actually see a further pullback as I've drawn in here. Well, ideally towards the cluster level, like with the red line and the 200 moving average. So ideally, I'm looking now for a pullback to get an even better entry with the same stop level. So looking at this daily gecko system one pattern alone, it looks like a great trade with a well protected stop. But we have to see it like in the overall perspective. And the overall perspective is a weekly chart. So this is the daily pattern we've just seen. And in the weekly chart, we can see that there's another very similar gecko pattern on the weekly that has already triggered right here. That was I think it was in May, and I've done a couple of videos on that as well. So this is basically, that's a gecko pattern within a gecko pattern. So this overall gecko pattern has triggered, it has run its course. You can actually expect a similar price move on the daily chart than Bitcoin already did on the weekly. So markets are fractal, and that's a pattern within an overall pattern. Obviously, that gives you an additional reason for being positive on the trade. Because when this starts to move in the right direction, we actually see two forces pushing prices higher of the overall gecko pattern and the on the weekly and the daily gecko pattern. The other thing is that the target is a projection of the prior move, and we can see the prior move here into the 20,000 Bitcoin was a very big move. And as markets are fractal with these type of moves as well, I'm expecting a similar move, and that projects a Bitcoin price out to the 100,000 level. So that actually this daily gecko provides you a super low risk idea, getting a very tight stop on a target that is way out there. Well, I've outlined it in the article, and your reward to risk is about 30 to 1. If you even get a tighter entry, like a better entry with a tighter stop, well, your reward to risk might easily go to 60 to 1, right? I'm sure you're aware of that I've done previous Bitcoin updates in the past, and they've been pretty accurate. So I highly recommend you to go back and watch these updates. So you can see here the circles I've drawn. So at these important points of decision points, I've actually done an update on Bitcoin. Like when price was down here, I was expecting that there's a turnaround, and just before breaking this pattern, I was actually talking you through the weekly gecko pattern and what the potential is with the stop run. Well, we've seen that after price has been overextended, there was a potential for a refresher, for a pause, right? So this is what happened. And after this consolidation has started to map itself out, well, I was thinking about, well, this should become a daily gecko pattern, and we should break down that. Well, that's what happened, and now I've been waiting for bull strength, my last video update, and the bull strength came in. So that's for me the go signal for much higher Bitcoin prices. So you can find these videos if you go to my playlist. It's a crypto BTC update playlist, and you see the recent videos, like with the date 19th of September 25. You see the recent videos here where I'm explaining and talking you through chart dynamics and the current situation back at that time in Bitcoin. So I hope that was of help. Thank you.